Welcome to the Forticode, cybersecurity podcast and vlog. My name is Farah Sobey and I'm here today talking with Tony Smales, founder and CEO of Forticode, creators of the most revolutionary product in cybersecurity, Cipherise. Okay, so what's been happening in the category? Who's been hacked recently and how could you have helped?
Look, one of the interesting things, so about a year and a half ago, I was at a conference in the United States, and an admiral from the Navy, US Navy, hopped up on stage and made the statement 100% of their systems that they inspected had been compromised by a intelligence agency of another country. So no doubt.
100%.
100%. This made everyone in the room obviously quite incensed about the fact that if the Navy can't protect their systems, who can? And if you actually look at the statistics now, there's been a lot of very high-profile global breaches. There's many names, big company names. So Uber recently admitted to being hacked. Anthem is one of the big ones out of the US. Equifax, which released over 1 billion records of different people. There's continuous flow on a daily basis of companies having information breached. And the reason is that 60% plus of breaches occur from the inside, not from the outside. So people perceive that it's this guy hiding in a dark corner is the reason why my data is going to get hacked. It's not actually true. It's because someone inside your organization, either through manipulation, through an event that's caused them to become disgruntled, or inadvertently, could just be an innocently opening up an attachment on an email, create basically an entry point into your business that allows someone else to get to that data point. So the answer is everyone's been hacked or everyone will be hacked. It's almost a guarantee that someone will have internal access to your systems.
That's frightening. So you mentioned Uber as an example.
Yes.
With an organisation like Uber where everyday people are using it all the time,
Yep.
What's the ripple effect of hacking a company like Uber on everybody?
The one common thread that I've come across when I talk to companies is my information isn't important. The best example was actually in the healthcare space. So Anthem had healthcare records breached. That information allows people to create financial existences, so they could open bank accounts with information that was breached in someone else's name. But most interestingly, again, it's been alleged but not proven, but the purchasers of that data on the black market were people who were involved in things like insurance assessment. Because if I know that you have a medical problem and you come to me for insurance, then I can make a decision to say I'm not going to insure you, even though I can never admit to the source of the information as to why I'm not going to. I don't actually have to explain it, but that's what can happen. So everyone's data is important to someone else. And in the case of Uber, obviously it gives profiling about when you're home, when you're not home, your social habits, where you go, when you go. That information is quite valuable in a lot of different vectors to a lot of different types of organizations. So if I was going to market to you restaurant information, I can use the information that was breached from Uber to create a really good profile of when do you go out for dinner, because I know, because the data's there in Uber.
Wow, frightening. So that's where Forticode and Cipherise can help.
Yes.
So how is the market, your competition, etc.? Where does Forticode sit?
Okay, so Forticode is in a reasonably unique position at the moment. The goal of what we're trying to achieve is a way of saying it doesn't matter whether you're over a phone call, over a website, through a mobile phone app, or literally over the counter. That experience for how you prove that you're you, but more importantly, that the service that you're accessing is truly the service. We allow that bidirectional trust to be established very, very quickly. So we call it absolute trust establishment, and we do it in a digital world very, very quickly. We don't differentiate between a front door. We don't differentiate between a credit card transaction. Like, they're all the same to us. They're just a transaction. So Forticode's goal is to make it so that people are in control of their information. They're in control of anything that happens digitally. And in the very least, anything that starts to happen in my name that's protected by Cipherise, I become aware of before it completes.
Good and comforting. Tony, we were talking earlier about the latest stats. Is there some stats we should be aware of? I've been told that 2016, 2017, cyber attacks costs jumped 24% to $1.3 billion US. Is that correct?
Look, that number sounds incredibly low to me. Like another statistic that I'm aware of is that by the end of 2019, the global cost of cybercrime is over $2 trillion. So this is a growth industry. Like cyber is growth on obviously security companies providing safety, but also for the criminals actually doing the activity. Because everything is digital now. Like literally, if governments had their way, cash would go. Cryptocurrencies are getting traction all over the globe. Everything's becoming digital, and what that means is that every time you do anything, there's an opportunity for someone to do a fraud, do a manipulation, or breach your privacy, and that's the global trend.
And that's where Cipherise and Forticode can help protect us.
Yep, that's exactly what we're here for. So we're here to try and make it so that, again, anything that happens that's associated to you, you become the control point. You know about it. So I can't say I'm Farah and I'm gonna jump onto eBay and buy something utilizing your credit card. If I start that transaction and Cipherise is in play, you will get contacted saying, "Are you buying this from this site?"
Immediately.
Before it happens. And only if you say yes to that, then the transaction will complete.
Wow. Good. Unless you're buying shoes that I wanted.
Well, then yes, we probably shouldn't stop that transaction.
The largest organisations are at risk. We hear of breaches every day into companies, enterprise, and even the government. But keep in mind, it is you who are most at risk. And it is you who will be most affected. You, your family, business, colleagues, friends. Thanks for listening to Forticode's Cybersecurity Show. Join the revolution at forticode.com. And a very special thank you to Tony for joining us today and sharing your wisdom and educating us more on Cipherise.
Thank you very much, Farah. It's been great being here.